In this video, we're going to be going over the class syllabus. You can also access this on Schoology. There is a link underneath the daily agenda where you can see a hard copy of what this looks like. So first off, let's talk about communication. Being that I'm only going to see you 2 days a week and some of you are full distance learners, how are you going to communicate with me? If you have a question at any time, you can go ahead and email me. My email address is brooke.johnson@isd728.org. Another good tool for communication is Schoology. Everything for this class you can find on Schoology. The last way for communication would be Google Meet. There's going to be a link that I'll show you in just a moment for you to be able to log on to a Google Meet if you are a distance learner every Tuesday and Thursday at the last about 15 minutes of class. You can log on there and you can ask me any questions if you have it. That's completely optional. Also on Fridays on the agenda there will be a half-an-hour session for 7th grade and a half-an-hour session for 8th grade for you to jump on Fridays and to ask any questions that you might have. So this is what the Algebra 1 8th grade Schoology agenda will look like when you log on, and here's what the pre-algebra 7th grade agenda will look like. Notice on both of them the agenda is broken up into hybrid group A, hybrid group B, and distance learners. Depending on what you are, you're only going to follow the directions that's in that section. So if I'm a hybrid group A, I will only do what's in the hybrid group A section that's being assigned on that day. Okay? Now underneath the agenda, you're going to see a link that says optional Google Meet opportunities for distance learners. This would be for students that are 100% distance learners. You're going to see that I have this broken up into 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th hour. Now depending on when you have class, like if you have math class during 5th hour, this would be when you can log on. I have directions for how to join. I've got reminders and expectations that you should read all of this before you click here and join the Google Meet. That way you know what's expected of you when you do that. This is completely optional for only if you have questions. I can hopefully be able to answer your questions during that class time. Okay, but then again, you have to understand that everybody, not just the distance learners, so that's hybrid A, hybrid B as well, you'll have an opportunity for this on Fridays. So on Fridays, when the date says Friday up here, I'll have a link there for you to be able to join, hop on a Google Meet if you have any questions every Friday, and that's for everybody. Okay? Now let's look at class materials that you need for this course, for all math courses in general. You're going to need a binder with your math section. You need pencils and pens. I would say a couple different colors. If you like pencil, great. Bring a couple pens along. Sometimes we like to switch colors up during class. Be sure that your Chromebook is charged every day. You need paper. If you're coming to class, having a little bit of extra paper for different activities we might do would be helpful. I will be providing a notes packet for you, and I will also be providing worksheets for you, and a lot of the worksheets will be done online as well. Earbuds, essential. You need to have earbuds for class. Now, if you are a 100% distance learner, there's going to be an opportunity for you this Friday at the end of the first week of school for your parents to come in and grab materials. At that time, I will have all of the notes packets for you ready and all of the worksheets also ready for you to pick up. Okay? Now we do have a textbook. This is for 8th graders only. I don't have a 7th grade textbook, but 8th graders that are in Algebra 1, we've got a hard copy textbook. And if you want to get one of those, I can have, if you are a distance learner, let me know through an email and I can have it ready for you to be picked up this Friday. In class, if you want a textbook, just let me know and I can get one for you. You can keep it at home in case you ever want to reference it. Also, 8th graders, there's an online textbook. You can access it through Rapid Identity, and this is what it's called. It's a EasyBridge Savvas. I'm not exactly sure how you say it. This is different than last year. SAVVAS. If you just search it, you'll be able to access it just for a resource. I'm not sure how much we'll use it this year, maybe later on in the year, but I'll definitely have you practice in class. Now, how will you be graded? The grading is broken down into formative, which is on the left here, and then summative. Summative are your end of the unit or end of the chapter tests. That's 70% of your grade. Then the formative, that breaks up into the other 30%. So daily work is 15% of your grade, and formative practice quizzes. Those are also graded, and those are 15% of your grade. Okay, let's quick talk about daily work because you will get daily practice just about every single day. You'll notice up here highlighted, your daily work, your homework, will always be due by noon the next day. Your homework will be 10 points for each assignment. Late work will be half credit. So if you don't turn it in by noon the next day, the highest point value that you can get on the assignment would be 5 out of 10 points. Now assignments can be redone or corrected for full credit. So if you were to get 7 out of 10 on your assignment and you're not happy with that score, you can redo it or correct it, turn all the way back up to 10 points. You just need to fix your mistakes, show your work, and get the right answer. Now, if you are in class, if you're hybrid A or hybrid B, you can do that on paper and you can turn it into me in class. But if you're a full distance learner and you want to correct your assignment to earn points back, then you're going to have to do that in a different color, and you'll probably need to take a picture of it and then email that to me, okay? You'll notice here it says, yes, corrections done in a different color. I'm going to model that in class. So let's say you do your homework in pencil, then you're going to need to correct it in a different color that's not pencil. So maybe red pen, purple pen, green pen, something that's different so I can see what your correction looks like with all of the work shown. Okay? All of your daily work must be completed to take a chapter test. So if you want to take the chapter test on the day that the rest of the students do, you have to have all of your daily work completed so that you are ready for that test. Just some things to keep in mind when you're doing your assignments. You'll see here that I have a total of 10 points. You'll notice I have a line right here that 8 points and above is considered mastery. If you get a score of 8, 9, or 10 out of 10, that's a great score. It's a mastery score. You wouldn't really necessarily need to do fixes or corrections. If you want to, you can, and you can earn points back, but you really wouldn't need to because you're showing that you really have a good understanding of the concepts. If you get a score that's below 8 points, so 7 or lower, I would highly recommend that you do fixes. Okay, so if you get a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10, I would say definitely want to do fixes. And remember, you want to do fixes in a different color, and you need to fix all of your mistakes. So if you get 6 out of 10, you need to fix everything that you made a mistake on. Okay, if you get 60%. All right. So some things to keep in mind when you're making corrections, you need a different color so I can see what your corrections look like. And also think about, is your homework in focus? Did you follow directions? Is it on time? Did you complete every single problem? Did you understand it? And did you show your work? And by understanding it, did you earn mastery? So that would be 8 out of 10 or higher. And if not, then you make some corrections. Okay? All right, let's move on to the next thing that's going to be graded. Quizzes. Quizzes will happen during the unit or chapter. So maybe you'll have 1 or 2 graded quizzes throughout a chapter. They're 15% of your grade. They're going to be always announced ahead of time. Corrections can be made immediately to earn points back. Most of our quizzes will be done online, so you're able to have a second attempt and you can go back in there and you can make fixes because quizzes are formative and they're still part of the learning process. With your quizzes, you get to use your notes packet. So if you're taking good notes in class or by the videos that you watch at home and you're taking good notes in your notes packet, you get to use that on all of your quizzes when you take them. Okay, last thing, chapter tests or unit tests. They're 70% of your grade. I will always announce them ahead of time. All of your homework must be complete to take a chapter test. So if you don't have all of your homework done, you won't be taking the chapter test that day. So if you have missing work, you're going to need to schedule a different time to take your test. which will then put you behind all of the other students in the class. So it's a good idea to try to keep up on daily work so that you are prepared and ready to take that chapter test on the day that all of the other students do. All right, when it comes to absences, you are responsible to check Schoology for the daily agenda. So if you are absent from school, that you go onto Schoology and you see what it is that you need to do, whether you're hybrid A group or hybrid B group. Distance learners, you're always going to be at home, so you know where to find that. All right, if you are in the classroom, I want to show you a few things since you're not here today and you're watching this from home. Just some things that you might have seen in my classroom, and so you can find kind of where to go to get some information. So on the front of the board, you're going to see that I have all the days of the week, and I have it broken down by the algebra advanced class. This is what they'll do each day if they're in school. And then the 7th grade pre-algebra class, this is what they'll do every day if they're in school. Notice Friday says DL because everybody's distance learner. So when you walk into class, you can take a peek at the board just to kind of get an idea of what's happening. Also, if you come in on Monday, we didn't have school this week because it was a holiday, but you can kind of look ahead and see, are we going to have a quiz or a test later in the week? What's happening? Okay, so that's a good place where you can get that information. On the back wall, I have calendars for 7th grade pre-algebra and Algebra 1 Advanced, and on here you can see I'm going to probably post important quizzes, tests, other information that's important because mainly you'll be using the Schoology calendar for assignments, so back here will be just kind of like big things. Then you're going to see here how I have a bin of folders here that are blue for 7th grade and yellow for 8th grade. If you need an extra copy of a worksheet or an extra copy of a notes packet or anything, I'll have them in these folders by chapter. You can also access that on Schoology, okay? And of course, distance learners, you're picking up all of your materials this Friday at the end of the week. Next to the door when you walk in, you'll see that I have a table that's labeled class materials. If there's anything that I need you to pick up that you'll need for class, I'm going to have it here. For instance, maybe a ruler or a scissors or a warm-up activity. But you'll find that back here, and then you'll just pick that up as you walk into class. Now at this point, if you feel like you have any questions about how you're going to be graded or about what I have going on in my classroom, how homework works, anything that you weren't quite sure of, remember you can always email me if you've got questions about that. And remember, again, my email is brooke.johnson@isd728.org. Or you can always join in on the Google Meet on Friday. You can pop in, you can ask any questions that you have. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a great day.